All right, let's talk about something that's quietly draining the life out of our workplaces: burnout. Now, you might think the solution is more vacation days or, another wellness app. But what if I told you the real answer is something much more fundamental? We're talking about emotional intelligence.
Just think about that for a second. We spend so much time looking out for threats from our competitors, right? But the real danger might already be inside our own walls, just quietly eating away at the very foundation of our team's health and performance. This isn't just a feel-good issue. It's a massive threat to any business strategy. And the sheer scale of this crisis is, well, it's pretty hard to believe. Get this. A staggering 82% of the workforce is at risk of burnout right now. That means in a room of 5 people at your company, 4 of them could be on the verge of total exhaustion. And the hit to the economy, it is just as jaw-dropping. We are looking at an estimated $300 billion loss every single year in the U.S. alone. That number comes from things like lost productivity, people quitting their jobs, and soaring healthcare costs. It is a massive, massive drain on our resources. But here's the part that's really alarming: how fast this whole thing is accelerating. Historically, the average age someone would hit peak burnout was 42. Today, it's just 25. That tells us the problem is getting worse, and it's hitting younger people way earlier in their careers. So, what is actually happening here? Well, you can think of it like our collective emotional batteries are just running on empty, pretty much everywhere. Some researchers have even given it a name: an emotional recession. It's this widespread drain on the resilience and optimism we all need to work together and get things done. It's not just a few stressed out people. It's a systemic problem. Okay, so if this is an earthquake, where's the epicenter? Well, all the signs are pointing to one place: managers. Let's dig into why leaders are in such a uniquely tough spot. And here's a fact that might surprise you. You'd think that the people on the front lines, the individual contributors, are the most at risk, right? But the data actually shows that managers are 36% more likely to experience burnout than the people they lead. They are really taking the brunt of this crisis. And here's why. It's a concept that's been dubbed the managerial sandwich. You've got managers stuck right in the middle. They're absorbing all this pressure from leadership above to hit aggressive goals, while at the same time, they're trying to support the emotional and mental health of their teams below. It's an absolutely relentless squeeze. And let's break down what that pressure actually looks like. It's things like unclear goals, having to constantly manage emotions, both your own and your team's. That's what we call emotional labor. And of course, that always-on culture where you can never really disconnect. And all this is happening, often with very little thanks or recognition. Okay, so we've laid out the problem. It's huge, it's expensive, and managers are right in the thick of it. But, and this is a big but, there is a powerful, evidence-backed antidote. So let's talk about how emotional intelligence can actually help us build a way out of this. And that antidote is emotional intelligence, or EQ for short. In its simplest form, EQ is the skill of understanding and managing emotions, not just your own, but also the emotions of the people around you. And let me be clear, this is not a soft skill. It is a core strategic competency. I mean, we all know what IQ is, right? That's your book smarts. It's the what you know. But EQ? EQ is your people smarts. It's the how you actually apply all that knowledge, how you navigate tricky social situations and build strong relationships. And when it comes to leadership, the how is often way more important than the what. So, how does this all work? Well, EQ is usually broken down into 5 main pillars. It all starts with you, with self-awareness and self-regulation. And once you have that foundation, it expands outward to your motivation, your empathy for other people, and finally, the social skills you need to manage relationships well. Each step really builds on the one before it. So, knowing the theory is one thing, but how do you actually use this stuff in your day-to-day work? Okay, let's get practical. Let's look at how we can apply these ideas in the real world. One of the best tools for this actually comes from the Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence. It's called the RULER framework. It's an acronym that stands for recognize, understand, label, express, and regulate. See, this isn't just about feeling things. It's about developing emotional literacy. For example, instead of just saying, I'm stressed, you can label it more precisely. Are you overwhelmed? Are you apprehensive? That kind of precision is the very first step to managing the feeling. Now, here's what happens when managers use tools like RULER. They start to build the single most powerful defense against team burnout there is: psychological safety. This is the absolute bedrock.
It's that shared belief in a team that it's okay to be vulnerable, it's okay to ask for help or to admit you made a mistake without fear of being punished. And the results are, well, they're undeniable. The data shows that teams with high psychological safety are 76% more engaged and a staggering 74% less likely to burn out. A leader with high EQ directly creates this environment, and it acts like a powerful shield for the whole organization. Let's make this even more real with a quick story. This is a perfect example of how a manager with high EQ can actually stop the burnout cycle dead in its tracks. So it all starts with just paying attention. A high EQ manager notices a change. Alex, who's usually a top performer, is suddenly quiet and disengaged. Now, a low EQ manager might just see a performance problem, but a high EQ manager, they see a human problem.
Next up is the approach. Instead of piling on the pressure, the manager leads with genuine curiosity and care. The question isn't, hey, why are you falling behind? It's, what's going on? It's an open-ended question that invites an honest conversation, not a defensive one. And because Alex feels safe, they open up and admit they're completely overwhelmed. The manager's response here is just textbook EQ. First, validate the feeling. I hear you. That sounds incredibly hard. Then, you take action. Adjust the workload. Offer support. This isn't about lowering the bar, it's about giving someone the support they need to clear it.
And here is the real magic, the big outcome. The manager's action doesn't just save Alex from burning out. It sends a huge signal to the entire team that this is a place where it's safe to be human and to ask for help. That one small interaction strengthens the whole culture. So the biggest takeaway here is that you can start doing this stuff today. Here's a simple toolkit. First, spot the silent signs of struggle. Second, ask empathetic questions, like how are you really doing? Third, build that psychological safety by being vulnerable yourself. And finally, and this one is crucial, set healthy boundaries and model them for your team. Show them it's okay to log off. So we'll just leave you with this question. This doesn't have to be some massive change overnight. Maybe it's just asking one person on your team how they're really doing. Or maybe it's just logging off an hour early to show your team that it's okay. What is that one small step you can take today? Because those small steps, that's how you build the shield against burnout, one person at a time.